Hello and thank you for joining me. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet the iris in a square stitch. This is a modern version of the granny square, but we are using the iris stitch. As you can see, the iris stitch is a double V stitch. It's made out of 2 double crochet stitches. I'm using US terminology. So we have 2 double crochet stitches, chain 1 and another 2 double crochet stitches, all worked into the same space. We will be working into the chain 1 space of our previous row. So we are using the double V stitch made with double crochet stitches, and this stitch is great for soft blankets, garments. As you can see in my photo, I'm wearing the iris cocoon shrug that is made exactly from this stitch and also made from the same yarn, the Nubo yarn. So for my tutorial I'm going to use worsted weight yarn number 4. I'm using Lion Brand Nubo and a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I'm using tulip hook, and optional to use 4 stitch markers to make it easier for you to identify the corners. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so we are starting with 4 rounds of setup, and then we will continue to a repetition of 2 rounds that will consist the main pattern. So start with a magic ring. You can also, if you don't like using a magic ring, you can chain 2 and work this first round into the second chain from the hook. So make a magic ring, now chain 1, and I'm using a US terminology, so make 1 single crochet into the ring and chain 2. Now repeat 3 more times for a total of 4 times. So again, 1 single crochet and chain 2. Again, and last time. Now pull the ring tight and slip stitch into the first single crochet. Okay, so let's start round 2. To start round 2, we are slip stitching into the next chain 2 space. And then we will work a double V stitch into the same chain 2 space. We will start by chain 3. The chain 3 always count in this pattern as a 1 double crochet. Now we will work another 1 double crochet into the same chain 2 space. We will chain 1 and work another 2 double crochet into the same chain 2 space. So we are creating a double V stitch. Okay, so this is our first double V stitch. Now we will chain 2, and this is where we are going to place our corners. So we will place our first stitch marker around the chain 2. And we will skip the next single crochet stitch. Now we will repeat these stitches. We are working double V stitch into the next chain 2 space. So we are working 2 double crochets 1, 2, chain 1, and work another 2 double crochet into the same chain 2 space. Again, this is our double V stitch, the iris stitch, and now we will chain 2 and place our stitch marker around the chain 2. Okay, repeat the double V stitch and chain 2 more times. So skip the next single crochet and work a double V stitch into the chain 2 space. Now chain 2 again, place your stitch marker, and last time work a double V stitch into the chain 2 space. Now chain 2 again, place your stitch marker, and to close the round, slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. Okay, let's start round 3. We will start this round by slip stitching into the first 4 stitches. We will slip stitch into the first double crochet, chain 1 space, 2 double crochet, and then we will slip stitch into the chain 2 space. So work 1 slip stitch into the first double crochet, then chain 1 space, 2 double crochet. Now that you finished working into the first 4 stitches, slip stitch into the chain 2 space. Okay, so we are removing the marker from the chain 2 corner, and we will chain 3. Again, it counts as 1 double crochet. Now we will work another 1 double crochet into the same chain 2 space, and now we will chain 3, 2, 3, and 2 double crochet into the same chain 2 space. So we are creating our corner with a chain 3 space, and we will place our stitch marker into the chain 3 space. Now skip the next 2 double crochet stitches and work a double V stitch into the chain 1 space. Okay, so now we are moving to the next chain 2 space. Work 2 double crochet into the chain 2 space, and again chain 3 to create the corner, and another 2 double crochet into the same chain 2 space. Now place your stitch marker into the chain 3 space, and skip the next 2 double crochet and work a double V stitch into the chain 1 space. Okay, now repeat these 2 stitches 2 more times. So I'm moving the stitch marker from my next chain 2 space, and I will work 2 double crochet, chain 3, and 2 double crochet into the same chain 2 space, and I will place the marker into the chain 3 space. Again, working a double V-stitch into the next chain 1 space, and repeating again. Working chain 3 and another 2 double crochet. Last double V-stitch into the chain 1 space, and to close my round I will slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 okay, so slip stitch into the top chain of the beginning chain 3. Okay, so this is for round 3. Okay, so we are starting round 4, and I remind you that you can find all the written instruction in my blog made by Guti. I will link everything below in the description. So we are starting by slip stitching into the first double crochet stitch, and then into the chain 3 space. I will remove the stitch marker, and now we will chain 3. Again, it counts as a double crochet, and we will work 1 double crochet into the chain 3 space. We are working a double V-stitch, so chain 1. I remind you that the chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so we have 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet again. So this is 1 double crochet, 1 V-stitch, double V-stitch, and now we will chain 1 again, and we will work another double V-stitch into the same chain 3 space. So 2 double crochet, chain 1, and another 2 double crochet. So in this corner we have 1 double V-stitch, a corner chain 1 space, which we will mark with a stitch marker, again place it in the middle chain 1, and a second double V-stitch. So 1 double V-stitch, chain 1, and another double V-stitch into the same chain 3 space. And now we will continue, skip the next 4 double crochet and work a double V-stitch into the chain 1 space. Okay, so now we are repeating. Skip the next 4 double crochet, remove your marker, and work 1 double V-stitch, a chain 1, and another double V-stitch into the chain 3 space. So 2 double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochet. So this is our first double V-stitch. Now we chain 1, we will place our stitch marker, and we will work another double V-stitch into the same chain 3 space. Okay, so this is our second corner, 1 double V-stitch, chain 1, and another double V-stitch. And then we continue to work a double V-stitch into the next chain 1 space. Okay, repeat these 2 stitches in the next 2 corners. Okay, so to finish the round, slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. Okay, so this is round 4. Okay, so we finished our setup rounds, and now we will start the repetition of the main pattern, which are rounds 5 and 6. So let's start by slip stitching into the first 4 stitches, and then into the marked chain 1 space. So slip stitch into the first double crochet stitch, then into the chain 1 space, and into the next 2 double crochet stitches. Now slip stitch into the corner, which is the marked chain 1 space. And we will start to work our corner. So chain 3, work 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space, to the same one. Now chain 3, and work another 2 double crochet into the same chain 1 space. And place your stitch marker into the chain 3 space. Okay, so now work a double V-stitch into each of the chain 1 spaces until the marked chain 1 space. So for this round we have 3 chain 1 spaces, and then into the next chain 1 space, Okay, so I reached the marked chain 1 space, which is my corner. So I'm removing the marker and I'm repeating. I'm working the corner of 2 double crochet, chain 3, and another 2 double crochet into the chain 1 space. Okay, 2 double crochet, chain 3, and another 2 double crochet into the same chain 1 space, and place your stitch marker. And now again work 1 double V-stitch into each of the chain 1 spaces until the marked chain 1 space. Don't walk into it. Okay, so repeat the corner and the double crochet stitches 2 more times, and I will meet you at the end of the round. Okay, so I finished my round and I slip stitched into the top of the chain 3, and we will move on to round 6. So now slip stitch into the first double crochet stitch and into the chain 3 space. Now chain 3 to work 2 double V stitches that are separated by a chain 1 space. So after we chain 3, work 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet stitches to create your first double V stitch. Now chain 1 and work a second double V stitch into the same chain 3 space. Okay, now place your stitch marker into the middle chain 1 space that is separate the 2 double V stitches. And now continue working 1 double V stitch in each of the chain 1 spaces until the marked chain 3 space. Okay, so now I reached the chain 3 space, so remove your marker and repeat by working 2 double V stitches that are separated with a chain 1 space. So start with 1 double V stitch into the chain 3 space, now chain 1 and work a second double V stitch into the same chain 3 space. And place your stitch marker into the middle chain 1 space. And now continue working double V stitches into the chain 1 spaces until the chain 3 space that is marked with your stitch marker. Okay, so repeat the same stitches until the end of the round, and I will meet you there. Okay, so finish your round by slip stitching to the top of the beginning chain 3, and now just repeat rounds 5 and 6 until you reach your desired size of your blanket or whatever you are making, and make sure to finish with round 6. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You can find everything on my blog made by Guti. Thank you.